Section 1. Hey guys, tonight we're drifting somewhere in the heart of the Pacific. The stars overhead seem to ripple with movement, and the sea stretches out around you, black as ink and twice as mysterious. There's no compass in your hand, no map tucked under your arm, no voice telling you to turn left at the reef, just silence, salt, stars, and your own heartbeat thudding like a drum against the wood of your canoe. You probably won't survive this, by the way. Just putting that out there. But somehow, centuries ago, others did, repeatedly, across thousands of miles of open water. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop your location and your local time in the comments. I love seeing where you're tuning in from. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. The water is warm tonight, thick with the scent of algae and salt. Your canoe glides silently across the waves. This isn't a cartoon raft with a palm tree sticking out of it. It's a sleek, double-hulled Polynesian vessel, hand-carved, lashed with cordage, sails like wings stretched out to catch the trade winds. It creaks softly as the ocean rocks you, each motion measured, nothing wasted. Your ancestors are watching. You're a wayfinder now. Not by choice. Let's be honest, you were probably dared into this. But you're here, on this ancient path that links islands scattered like freckles across the face of the Pacific. And these islands, not a single one of them is in sight. Still, you're not lost, at least not in the way modern minds define it, because you're reading signs everywhere, the stars, the swells, the wind, the taste of the air. Your knowledge of direction lives inside your body like a hidden instrument, humming beneath your skin. Polynesian navigation is a little like driving with your eyes closed, but only if your ears could hear the road, your skin could feel every bend, and you'd memorize the route through generations of storytelling. Somehow it works. The Pacific Ocean covers more territory than all the Earth's land masses combined, and Polynesians, they covered it, not in one mad dash, but slowly, deliberately, over centuries, from the Solomon Islands to Samoa, Tahiti, Rapa Nui, and Hawaii. All without compasses, without sextants, without written charts. Historians still argue whether this vast exploration was planned or accidental. Some think storms blew people off course. Others believe there were deliberate scouting expeditions led by elite navigators. Either way, the result is staggering, the largest seafaring expansion in human prehistory. And now here you are, channeling those same navigators, heart pounding, eyes adjusting to the night sky. The stars are your main guide, not the constellations you know, but your own internal star compass, handed down through chants, dances, and memory. The horizon becomes your clock face. Specific stars rise and set at known points, and you steer toward or away from them as needed. It's elegant and terrifying. Miss your mark by even a few degrees, and you could paddle for weeks toward nothing but more water. To make things spicier, let's throw in a quirky detail. Early Polynesians sometimes believed that land had a spirit, and that the island itself could call to the navigator, if they were worthy. You couldn't just find land, you had to deserve it. There's something almost magical about that, navigating by relationship, not coordinates. Tonight, you're guided by a star called Hokula, red star, or Betelgeuse in Western astronomy. It rises just before dawn in the east, and you've been tracking it since it first blinked into view. You don't stare at it, though. You feel it. You know where it sits on the invisible ring of your horizon, marked in your mind by years of learning. Meanwhile, the canoe hums with quiet purpose. The lashings creak, the water slaps gently at the hull, and a flying fish flicks out of the dark like a silvery boomerang. You blink. Did you just hallucinate that? Probably. But it's fine. In this space, time bends. You could be minutes or days from land and you wouldn't know. Modern sailors might measure everything with GPS and radios, but you're measuring with your soul. There's an old chant about this moment. It talks about the path the gods cut across the sky and how that path leads the wise to safety. It was never meant to be literal, and yet here you are, using it literally. One historical fact you might enjoy: early European explorers were stunned by Polynesian canoes. When Captain Cook encountered them, he called them the most extraordinary sailing vessels he'd ever seen. Fast, agile, and sea-capable beyond anything the British had brought. And those weren't even the best ones. Your feet brace instinctively against the hull as a swell rises, lifting the canoe with a graceful curve. You adjust the sail slightly. There's no wheel, just ropes and balance. Every motion matters. Every shift in weight changes your trajectory. You remember the stories you were told as a child, of the great navigator who sailed without sleeping for 3 days, who followed a bird across 900 miles, who tasted the rain and knew which island it came from. You wonder if that's what you're becoming now. Then again, maybe you're just sunburned, thirsty, and slightly delirious. But there's no turning back. You left behind your starting point 3 days ago. And if you turn around, you'll find only blank sea. You press forward. You look up again. The stars are sliding across the sky like beads on a string. The Milky Way is a creamy smear above you. Polynesians sometimes called it the backbone of the sky. It marks a highway of sorts, a reliable path to align your soul with. Out here, every star has a personality. Some are loyal. Some are tricksters. Some rise just to vanish before you can use them. You learn to trust certain ones, your cosmic friends. And now one of them, bright, low, shimmering, tells you something only you can hear. You're on the right path. After Section 1, awaiting continue, Section 2. The ocean stretches out like a sheet of hammered obsidian, its surface dimpled by the occasional whisper of wind. Your canoe surges forward with the breeze, both sails trimmed just so, catching the wind's breath like a bird gliding on thermals. It's not just pretty, it's purposeful. You're not drifting, you're flying. And it's all thanks to the miracle beneath your feet, the canoe. Let's take a moment to appreciate this marvel. You're riding a double-hulled canoe, basically the Polynesian answer to a luxury yacht, minus the minibar. These vessels weren't built for lazy fishing trips. They were designed for hauling families, tools, pigs, chickens, and every last bit of hope across thousands of unforgiving nautical miles. Some were over 60 feet long. Think about that. 60 feet of expertly crafted, seaworthy wood, built without metal tools. Yeah, your ancestors were boat-building geniuses with nothing but shell blades, coral rasps, and plant fibers to work with. Each canoe was tailored for its journey. Some had thatched shelters for sleeping. Others had outriggers for balance. All of them had something special. A design born not from sketches on parchment, but from knowledge embedded in the body, passed down hand to hand, eye to eye, lash to lash. Every lashing matters. Coconut fiber rope, known as sinnet, holds everything together. No nails, no glue, just tension, precision, and the occasional curse muttered under the breath when a cord snapped mid-tie. These lashings flexed with the swell, absorbing stress and allowing the canoe to bend instead of break. You could almost say the boat breathes with the ocean. Quirky detail incoming. Some Polynesian canoe builders reportedly wouldn't eat or speak during critical parts of the construction process. Not because they were shy, but because they believed that silence and fasting infused the canoe with spiritual strength. And maybe also because they didn't want to get coconut crumbs stuck in the lashings. You lean against the mast post, feeling the hull beneath you dance. This isn't a machine, it's alive. And you're not just its captain, you're part of it. Remember when you were a kid building pillow forts or cardboard spaceships? It felt magical because the rules didn't matter, only the story did. Well, this canoe was built with stories, literally. Every part of it has a name. The bow is the ahu, the stern is the hope, the mast is the ka. Even the lashings have stories attached to them. Sometimes chants, sometimes mythological backstories, sometimes a scolding from an elder who caught you tying them wrong. The materials came from the forest. Trees were chosen not for size alone, but for shape and spirit. Breadfruit, tamanu, and koa were all candidates. The felling of a tree was a sacred event. Prayers were offered. Sometimes sacrifices, though let's be real, probably more symbolic than gruesome. At least let's hope so. Historians still argue whether the design of these canoes evolved locally or came from an original proto-canoe form that spread outward with the Lapita people. Either way, they were owned into perfection across generations of sea trial and error. Think about that. Each canoe was the product of 1,000,000 small decisions tested in the most unforgiving lab in the world, the open ocean. And they worked. So well, in fact, that when European explorers first saw them, they were a little jealous. The speed, the handling, the fact that they didn't capsize in high winds. Cook's crew recorded that Polynesian canoes could outpace their own ships in a breeze. Imagine your grandmother in a handcrafted wooden canoe leaving your fancy brig in the salty dust. What you're standing in is more than transportation, it's infrastructure. These canoes connected a world of islands. Trade, diplomacy, marriage alliances, war parties, spiritual pilgrimages, they all rode these boats. 1,000 years before Columbus was getting lost near the Bahamas, Polynesians were doing regular inter-island routes that would make Amazon Prime blush. There's this moment when the wind catches just right and your canoe lifts into a glide. You close your eyes. You can feel the vibration of the lashings, hear the whisper of the water sluicing between hulls, and smell the sun-baked salt on the sails. It's like flying, except louder and wetter, and definitely more likely to leave a rash. You remember the canoe chants, the ones children are taught from the moment they can talk. Chants that name every part of the vessel, that describe how to hoist the sail, bail the water, steer with the paddle, sleep on the deck without falling overboard. The last one's more of a practical tip, really. These aren't nursery rhymes. They're survival manuals disguised as songs. And if you listen closely, the canoe talks back. No, seriously. Skilled wayfinders learn to feel the canoe's moods. It lifts slightly to one side. Maybe you've shifted too much weight. It creaks. Maybe the lashings need checking. It jolts. Maybe you've hit a reef or a fish, or your luck just ran out. There's also a subtle change when you get close to land. The canoe feels different. The swells soften. The reflections off the water get sharper. Your balance adjusts. You may not see land yet, but the canoe has. And if you've been listening, you already know. One odd but true fact. Some ancient canoes had carved images or eyes at the prow, not for decoration. These were guides, guardians. They helped the canoe see the way forward, especially when traveling at night, when the horizon vanishes into a wall of ink. It wasn't superstition. It was a navigational mindset. Trust the boat. Trust the sea. Trust the spirits. It's easy to forget, as the waves gently slap your hull and stars turn overhead, that this canoe isn't just wood and rope. It's legacy. It's revolution. It's resistance against the idea that ancient people were primitive. You're standing on proof that they were anything but. And with that thought, your canoe surges forward again, cutting across the dark like a comet streaking across the belly of the ocean. After Section 2 awaiting continue. Section 3. The stars overhead shimmer like spilled sugar across a black velvet cloth. But to you, they're more than decoration. They're orientation, history, calendar, and compass rolled into one. You stare upward, not to wish, but to steer. This is where things get serious. You're not just sailing under the stars, you're sailing with them. The sky is a spinning wheel. Every night constellations rise in the east and sink in the west. But they don't just wander around aimlessly. Each one travels along a predictable arc. You learn these arcs until they're tattooed inside your mind. Not just the stars' names, but the exact spot on the horizon where each one appears and disappears. That spot is a direction, a coordinate, a promise. Polynesian navigators created what's often called the star compass. It's not something you hold, it's something you are. In your mind, the horizon is divided into roughly 32 to 36 segments, each associated with specific stars. When a particular star rises directly ahead, you know exactly which direction you're traveling, say, east-southeast. When it sets off your left shoulder, you're veering slightly north. All this without glancing at an instrument. You're just aware. Let's make this more tangible. Imagine you're steering toward the rising of Sirius, which Polynesians called Ta'aurua. You know where it should come up. You've memorized it from years of chance and practice. As long as it stays in the same spot off the tip of your canoe, you're on course. But if it slides too far to the left, you've drifted. You adjust, subtly, constantly. There's no room for zoning out, no letting Netflix autoplay the next episode. This is navigation as mindfulness practice. You're tuned in or you're toast. Mainstream fact drop, the star compass system, or kapeku, was used across Micronesia and Polynesia. In places like Sarawak and the Caroline Islands, it's still taught today, though to fewer students than ever. The system isn't just about direction. It's a mental calendar, too. Different stars rise at different times of year, helping you know when it's time to plant, to fish, or to set sail. But here's the thing. You don't learn this in a weekend workshop. You live it. Wayfinders often began training in childhood. The process could take decades. It wasn't about memorizing charts. It was about absorbing patterns until they sank into the subconscious. You learned the stars by watching, listening, paddling under them. You learned them when you were hungry, tired, cold, and sunburned. You learned them when your uncle smacked the back of your head for confusing Vega with Altair. And you definitely learned them when you took your first solo test sail and didn't end up on the reef. Quirky detail: some navigators gave stars personalities. They were relatives, friends, enemies. The stars didn't just rise and set, they watched you. Some helped you, others led you astray, especially when clouds rolled in or your confidence outpaced your skill. There's even evidence that chance existed to appeal to the stars for guidance, especially on high-risk voyages, sort of like asking your older sibling for help. If your sibling was a 25-million-year-old ball of plasma, right now the stars are on your side, the swell is with you, the wind whispers encouragement, and the sky is wide open. You track Hikianalia, a star in the belt of Orion. It rises low and bright in the east. You align the bow with its glow and settle your weight. It's a good heading, steady and familiar. Now here's where it gets poetic. As a wayfinder, you don't just see a star, you become the star. In your mind, you're no longer sitting on the canoe. You're rising from the horizon, arching across the sky, guiding your own path to land. This concept, known as noyo in some traditions, is about embodying direction, not following it. That's a big difference. Historians still argue whether this level of cognitive mapping is innate or culturally trained. Some neuroscientists suggest that Polynesian navigators may have developed enhanced spatial awareness through early exposure and intense practice, activating brain regions linked to navigation like the hippocampus and retrosplenial cortex. Basically, they wired their brains for starlight. Of course, not everything goes smoothly out here. Clouds happen, stars vanish, rain spits sideways, and the ocean starts to feel like it's playing tricks. When that happens, you fall back on rhythm. You steer by memory. You keep your body tuned to the movement of the canoe, the shape of the waves, the way the mast sways against the wind. And when a single star breaks through the clouds again, it's like a friend returning to rescue you from a silent panic attack. Another fun little fringe theory? Some Polynesian navigators were rumored to have had star dreams, visions in which the stars told them which direction to go. Whether this was divine intervention, sleep-deprived imagination, or metaphor passed down through oral tradition, we may never know. But hey, if you're hallucinating from dehydration and a glowing sky dad points you toward Fiji, who's to say it didn't happen? You check your course one more time. Sirius is higher now, almost directly overhead. That means hours have passed. The sea beneath you feels steadier. You haven't drifted. Your balance is true. Somewhere far off, maybe 100 miles away, is an island. You won't see it until the very last moment. Maybe not until birds begin to fly out toward you at dawn. But you'll find it. Not because you believe in magic, but because you believe in your training. You breathe in deeply. The salt burns a little at the back of your throat. You exhale slowly. The stars don't blink. They just wait. After Section 3, awaiting continue, Section 4. The sea isn't flat. Not tonight. Not ever. It rolls, hums, and flexes with invisible hands. But to you, these waves aren't chaos. They're clues. They are the slow breath of the planet, and if you listen closely enough, they speak direction in a language older than speech. You shift your weight slightly. The canoe responds. One hull catches the rise of a long, low swell. You close your eyes. Feel it. This isn't just water sloshing under you. This is the ocean swell system, and tonight, it's your secret compass. In the deep Pacific, swells don't come from your local beach break. They're born in distant storms, hundreds or even thousands of miles away, and once set in motion, they move with terrifying consistency. Like ghost trains, massive, regular, invisible unless you know how to look or feel. Polynesian navigators learn to read these patterns like braille underfoot. Here's how it works. You memorize the direction and rhythm of the primary swell. Say it's coming from the northeast. Then you memorize the secondary one, which might be weaker and coming from the southeast. Now add a third one, bouncing off some island you'll never see. Your canoe will lift, dip, and yaw in a complex rhythm based on all of them, and that rhythm, that's your compass. You adjust course instinctively. Your hips lean ever so slightly left. The canoe obeys. Mainstream fact for your toolbox. Wave piloting was documented in places like the Caroline Islands, especially the island of Satawal, where navigators called Palu were trained from youth to identify up to 5 simultaneous swell directions, each with its own texture and interval. European sailors, when they first heard of this, thought it was wizardry, or nonsense, or both, until they rode along in a canoe and realized the wizardry worked. But this isn't just feeling waves, it's predicting them, calibrating against them, and noticing the faintest change. Like when your canoe begins to pitch slightly out of sync, just enough to tell you, hey bud, you're off course. It's less like reading a map and more like dancing to a beat only you can hear. And that beat never stops. Fringe tidbit time. There are oral accounts of navigators who could lie in the bottom of the canoe, eyes closed, and steer purely by how the swell shifted against the hull and their own internal balance. No stars, no land, no looking, just pressure points and rhythm, like turning your entire body into a seismograph with serious sea legs. You try it now, just for a second. You lie flat on the wooden planks and feel the canoe's heartbeat, its rising and falling, the slight skew of each lift, the twist as one hull dips just a hair lower than the other. It's like falling asleep on a giant breathing whale. Historians still debate whether wave navigation alone could get you between major islands. Some say yes, if you had a recent reference point and favorable swell consistency. Others argue it was only used in conjunction with stars, sun, and bird paths. What everyone agrees on is that wave piloting added a critical layer of backup when the sky was hidden or the sun had long since sunk behind the clouds. Out here, redundancy isn't a luxury, it's survival. Right now the sky's clear, but the moon is playing games. It's a thin crescent, hiding most of its glow, letting only the brightest stars compete. The result is a darker sea, and your eyes are straining. But your feet, your hips, they know the way. You sense a slight shift, something irregular, a cross swell. You adjust. It corrects. Crisis averted. It might not sound like much, but in this world, 1 degree off for a few hours can spell disaster. It's like being asked to throw a dart at a coin from across a football field while riding a horse, blindfolded. And if you miss, well, it's not like you can pull over and ask directions. Remember, the Pacific is not forgiving. It's not just water. It's storms, currents, isolation, hunger, heat, salt sores, and the ever-present fear of falling off the edge of the known world. But the Polynesians didn't just survive it. They thrived on it. Some even claim that certain navigators gave names to specific swell patterns, almost like favorite dogs or mischievous cousins. One swell was loyal and calm. Another was tricky, the liar, as one chant described it, for how it seemed to promise land and then disappear into the void. These weren't just metaphors. They were navigational wisdom, encoded in story form. You lean forward, scanning the horizon, not for land, but for the feel of its approach. Yes, that's right. You don't see land before you sense it. The way swells bounce and shift when they wrap around an unseen island can tell you what lies beyond the visible. Swells deflect. They interfere. They betray the presence of shorelines long before a single palm tree pops into view. It's said that experienced wayfinders could detect land up to 30 miles away this way. Even more fringe. Some navigators claim to feel the pull of land like a weight in their chest or a change in pressure. Science hasn't caught up with that one yet, but hey, stranger things have been true. You're becoming fluent in this language now. The canoe tilts again, predictable, familiar. The rhythm steadies. You're locked onto your heading like an arrow in flight. You think about those ancient sailors before you. Maybe they were scared, probably, but they went anyway. With no engine, no compass, just instinct and the whisper of the waves. And now so do you. After Section 4 awaiting continue. Section 5, the sky begins to shift, just a little. You notice the edge of the night turning a cooler shade of black. It's not dawn yet, but it's coming. The stars, faithful and steady all night, begin their slow descent toward the western horizon. You watch them melt into the dark sea like sugar dissolving in tea. But your eyes, tired but sharper than ever, look away from the heavens and back toward the sky's other messengers, clouds, birds, and yes, even that weird greenish glow. These are the signs of land. Not obvious, of course. That would be too easy. No bright neon arrow that says, "Congrats, you made it to Tahiti." No GPS lady chirping, "Your island will be on the left in 25 nautical miles." Just small, quiet signs that whisper if you're paying attention and ignore you if you're not. Let's start with clouds. Most people see clouds and think, "Oh no, rain." You see clouds and think, "Where's the island?" Because certain types of clouds behave differently when they form over land. For instance, the Naulu, a towering cumulus cloud, often appears in the afternoon over mountainous islands. Even when the island itself is still hidden by the curve of the earth, the cloud betrays it. These clouds form because land heats up faster than water, creating an upward current of warm air. That air gathers moisture and boom, cloud beacon. You spot one now. Slightly to port, flat-bottomed, slowly building. It's too symmetrical to be a weather front, and it doesn't move like a squall. That might be your first visual breadcrumb. Fringe fact time. Some wayfinders claim to identify specific islands by the color of the clouds above them, as if the land below gave the cloud its own unique tint. Now, whether this is true or just poetic storytelling is up for debate. But when you've been sailing for a week straight, you'll believe anything that isn't more water. Next up, birds. They're not just decoration either. You see a frigate bird streak across the horizon, sleek, fast, always dramatic. But you're waiting for a different kind, the noddy tern or the fairy tern. Smaller, softer, but crucial. Here's why. These birds don't sleep on water. They must return to land every night. So if you see them flying in the early morning or late evening, especially in a straight path, guess what they're doing? Commuting. You can follow them. They will literally lead you home. Some navigators even carried birds in cages and released them when they thought land was nearby. If the bird circled and came back, no land in range. If it flew off and didn't return, time to break out the welcome coconuts. This method was especially useful in cloudy conditions when stars and swells couldn't be trusted. Historically, this was recorded in oral traditions and eventually documented by curious outsiders. European sailors thought it was just another quaint island trick until they tried it themselves and realized, oh wow, it works. But we're not done yet. Let's talk about the sea glow. Yes, this is the weird greenish tint you sometimes see reflected on the bottom of clouds. It's subtle, like a ghost of land hanging just beneath the sky. It happens when light bounces off shallow lagoons, sandbars, or coral reefs and reflects upward. You won't always catch it, but when you do, it's like nature's version of a glowing exit sign. You squint into the darkness. Is that glow? Maybe. Or maybe your sleep-deprived brain is just inventing things again. That happens. But if it is real, then land is closer than you think. Polynesian wayfinders learned to recognize not just the presence of glow, but which type of land it indicated. Greenish-white might mean coral reef. Pale yellow could suggest sand. It's like reading a watercolor painting and guessing the terrain. Historians still argue whether this level of perception was common or reserved for elite navigators. Was every sailor trained to spot these signs, or just the masters? The evidence is mixed, partly because so much of this knowledge was passed down orally, and partly because colonial powers dismissed much of it as superstition. You feel a breeze now. A slightly different scent rides on it. Less salt. More earth. You lean forward, nostrils flaring like a suspicious bloodhound. Is that flowers? Could be. Plants give off volatile organic compounds that drift on the wind and sometimes carry over open ocean. You've never thought of island scent as GPS, but out here it's one more clue to tuck in your mental toolkit. Here's a quirky little gem. Some navigators believed that if you tasted the seawater and it was just a little less salty, land was close. And yes, people actually did that, licking the ocean, repeatedly. It's unclear how accurate this was. Most scientists would probably frown at your hydration strategy, but again, when you're days deep in open sea, you're going to try anything short of licking the moon. Now you're seeing more birds, 2, then 5, then a small squawking group slicing low across the water. They're heading west. You adjust course. Your hands grip the steering paddle as you mentally combine everything. The birds, the cloud, the glow, the swell shift. A constellation of signs, none reliable alone, but together, that's a map. A real living shifting map that exists only in your mind. You are the GPS, the map, the algorithm. Your brain is performing a miracle of pattern recognition, logic, and memory, all without a screen. Your ancestors did this. You're doing this. And that's what's so quietly magnificent. The fact that they didn't need to write it down doesn't mean it wasn't science. It was experiential science, repeated, refined, revered. You glance toward that persistent cloud again, still there, bigger now. And if you're not mistaken, flatter on top. Land is near. You can feel it, not just in your feet or your gut, but in the way the sea hesitates, like it's waiting for you to notice. You smile, you adjust, and you sail on. After Section 5, awaiting continue. Section 6. The wind stiffens just a little, and your sail tugs with a lazy, contented sway. The sun is still hiding, but the sky's begun to dilute, inky black fading to charcoal gray. You've been navigating for hours now, and not once have you glanced at a compass, because you don't need one. You're relying on a method that's equal parts ancient, elegant, and utterly terrifying. Dead reckoning. Don't let the name fool you. It's not as morbid as it sounds. Okay, maybe just a little. Dead reckoning is what happens when you keep track of where you're going by remembering where you started and continuously estimating your direction and distance traveled from that point. You're not checking a map. You're not asking for updates. You're doing math inside your skull. Constantly. It's like driving across a continent with your eyes closed, just remembering every single curve, bump, and rest stop along the way. Miss one mental mile marker, and well, hope you packed extra fish. Here's how it works. You left your last known island 2 days ago. You remember the heading, let's say southeast by south, riding the swell aligned with Sirius, your guide star. You kept track of the sail angle, wind force, and how long you've been under each condition. You estimate your speed, maybe 5 knots if the wind was generous, and you keep tally of every single hour you've moved. Multiply, adjust for drift, factor in current, and boom, you now have a rough idea of your position. No paper, no tools, just the calculator between your ears. Mainstream fact, dead reckoning wasn't exclusive to Polynesians. Vikings did it. Arab traders did it. Even 15th century European navigators relied heavily on it until the invention of more precise instruments like the chronometer and sextant. But Polynesians, they perfected it in an environment where off by a little meant goodbye forever. You shift your hips, steering the canoe just slightly with the sweep of your paddle. It's subtle, this adjustment, like nudging a sleeping cat so it doesn't fall off the couch. But it matters, because dead reckoning has zero forgiveness. If you overestimate your speed by even half a knot over 24 hours, you could miss an island by dozens of miles. And with no way to double check, you wouldn't even know you'd missed it. You just sail, and eventually, not. Historians still argue whether Polynesians relied primarily on dead reckoning or if it was just one part of their toolkit. Many believe that once a journey began, dead reckoning was the internal backbone of navigation, with stars and swells and birds as external checks. Others think it may have been more situational, used mainly during cloudy nights or overcast days when other clues were unreliable. What's not debated is that it takes a mind like a steel trap. You replay the last 36 hours. You remember sleeping for 3 hours while the canoe stayed on autopilot, steering itself via lashings and counterbalance. You remember the moment you caught the new swell yesterday afternoon, which nudged you slightly south. You correct for that now, tucking the memory into your internal map. Fringe tidbit for you. Some master navigators could reportedly hold up to 5 separate mental maps in their heads. One tracking the voyage, another tracking the return trip, and others for backup routes in case of emergency. These maps weren't stored like modern blueprints. They were lived, sung, felt. You weren't taught facts, you were taught story. The journey became a song you carried in your bones. And speaking of bones, let's not forget how physical this navigation is. You're not some disembodied brain floating above a globe. You're crouched in a canoe, knees sore, palms blistered, hair sticky with salt. Your body is tired, but your senses are razor sharp. You've been watching the waves, smelling the air, tasting salt to check wind direction. Yes, really. And mentally clicking off invisible milestones. This is dead reckoning, not dead guessing. Reckoning as in to reckon with. As in you are wrestling time and distance into submission, using nothing but grit and geometry. You pause and try something the old-timers did. You close your eyes, you hold your breath, you listen. The wind whispers from just behind your right shoulder. That checks out, still northeast. The swell is pushing at your porthole, faintly rocking in a rhythm you've come to trust. The canoe hasn't drifted. Your estimated heading, confirmed. You open your eyes, nod slightly, and continue. This is how it's done. Constant correction, gentle paranoia, immense confidence balanced on a knife's edge of uncertainty. Now here's a quirky little tactic. Some navigators use notches carved into their canoe or paddle to keep track of distance, like tally marks for every dozen miles. It wasn't standardized, and not all traditions did it, but there are stories of paddles with notches worn smooth by the journey. Functional and sentimental, just like everything else aboard. The sun is beginning to stretch its fingers across the horizon now. A pale smear of gold teases the water's edge. Soon, the stars will vanish, and with them goes your primary guide. This is when dead reckoning becomes even more vital, during the day when the sky no longer speaks and you must rely on memory, feel, and the hidden map in your mind. Polynesian navigators often preferred to sail at night for this very reason. The stars don't lie, they don't shift or mislead. During the day, you had to rely more heavily on other cues, the sun's arc, the swell direction, cloud movement, and of course, your dead reckoning. And let's be honest, the name does keep you humble. You check your surroundings one more time. Nothing but ocean and birds. But in your mind's eye, the island is there, faint, a ghost shape just beyond the curve of the earth. You feel it in your timing, your calculations, your gut. You haven't seen land in days, but you know exactly where you are. After Section 6, awaiting continue. Section 7. There's something almost primal about the way your body instinctively reacts to the ocean now. It's more than just survival. It's a strange, quiet symbiosis between your canoe, your mind, and the living rhythm of the sea. You've spent the last few days moving through this vast expanse, and you're beginning to realize that you've become part of the ocean's heartbeat. Its ebb and flow, its rise and fall, the pulse of water beneath you, the whisper of wind around you. It's a humbling realization. You are no longer merely a person on a boat. You've joined the ancient dance of the Pacific. You're part of the world's largest ocean, not against it. This is when the magic, or at least the art of wayfinding, really sinks in. Because the real secret isn't just about reading stars, clouds, or waves. It's about tuning your mind, body, and senses to a frequency older than recorded history. You are part of a legacy, one passed down over thousands of years. And as strange as it sounds, there's a part of your brain that remembers this, even if the rest of you has only just caught up. Navigating by the stars, the swells, the clouds, these aren't just tools, they're not tricks. They're the legacy of people who understood, through centuries of trial and error, that the world is a network of connections. It's a world where every island, every star, every swell, and every breath of wind is woven into an intricate web of knowledge. And you, at this moment, are a part of that web. The sky is lightening now, the sun cresting above the horizon in pale shades of lavender and rose. But the light isn't just making the sea visible, it's reshaping your understanding of it. You squint against the brightness, catching the first true hints of land, a faint outline of a shadow against the sky. Not sharp, but there, just beyond the reach of certainty. You've been here before, haven't you? In some forgotten corner of your memory. You've sailed these waters, felt this pull, seen this land. It's a sensation that no map or compass can give you. This deep, unshakable certainty that you're getting closer. And yet, there's something strange about the feeling. A subtle weight in the air. The temperature shifts. The ocean's surface begins to change. The swells that had once been wide and slow now feel sharper, like the sea is waking up from a deep sleep. It's happening. You're close. But this is where the beauty of Polynesian navigation really hits home. It's not just about knowing where you're going. It's about knowing when you're getting there and what's going to happen once you do. The swells, now distinct and more defined, are beginning to show the telltale signs of an island. They're more active here, alive, pushing up and breaking, like a restless energy surrounding something hidden. It's not enough to just know the island's out there. You can feel the energy of its presence. The swells don't just come. They react to the land below them. The land is waking up, and so is the sea around it. Fringe tidbit: there's an old belief among some Pacific Islanders that land, when it's near, actually calls to the navigator. It's not just that you see land, it's that the island's presence shifts the very pulse of the ocean, guiding you the last leg of the journey. It's a kind of unspoken invitation from the earth to the sailor, and those who are trained enough to sense it can feel it pulling them in like an invisible tide. You adjust the angle of your sail slightly, responding to the change in the wind. Your intuition tells you it's the right move, and your feeling is confirmed by the ocean beneath you. The waves push gently, nudging you toward where the island awaits, just out of sight, but no longer a distant dream. And that's when you realize it. You're not just crossing an ocean, you're participating in a living, breathing spiritual process. You're in tune with the earth itself. The ocean, the stars, the winds, they're not just the tools of your voyage. They are your companions. They have been with you from the very beginning, and they will carry you home. That, more than anything else, is the true art of Polynesian navigation. It's a partnership with the elements. It's understanding that, while the stars and the sea guide you, it's your own connection with the world that allows you to find your way. You're not just following a path, you're creating it with each and every movement. The ocean responds to your decisions, your intuition, your knowledge, and your respect for the world around you. And now, as you see the dark shape of the island looming just above the horizon, you understand that this is the culmination of everything you've learned, not just about navigation, but about yourself. You followed the stars, listened to the waves, and let the ocean's energy flow through you. And now, you are on the brink of reaching your destination. It's almost like crossing a threshold, a quiet, sacred moment where the voyage ends, and you, the navigator, become one with the land you've been chasing. You've made it. It's not just an island. It's a world of memories, stories, and dreams, woven together by the practice of wayfinding, by generations of people who dared to listen to the world around them and trust it with their lives. As the sun climbs higher, you begin to feel the land pulling closer. The island is almost within reach. You've arrived. After Section 7, awaiting continue. Section 8. The island now stands firm on the horizon, a dark silhouette against the brightening sky. You don't see details. There's no palm fronds swaying in the wind or sandy beaches greeting you. Not yet, but you feel it. The air smells different. Not salt, not wind, but something else. A subtle, earthy sweetness, as though the land itself is reaching out to greet you. It's a moment of anticipation that feels like it could stretch on forever. You've crossed this vast ocean, and now every movement of the canoe, every slight shift in the swell, every whisper of the wind carries with it a sense of quiet reverence. This isn't just another island on the map. This is home, for someone, for a people, for an entire culture. And now you too are part of that culture. The sky above you continues to brighten, a wash of soft pinks and purples breaking over the horizon. The stars begin to fade, one by one, making way for the sun. But you know, it's not the stars that are leading you now. It's the entire world around you. Everything you've learned, everything you felt, everything you've been taught by the sea, the wind, the stars, the birds, and the swells. Polynesian navigation wasn't just about getting from point A to point B. It was a journey of connection, not just to the elements, but to a lineage, to the stories of ancestors whose wisdom flowed through your veins like the ocean currents. And now, the island's dark outline has become something more than just geography. It's a place that exists not only in space, but in time. It's the place where your ancestors stood, where they launched their journeys, and where they eventually returned. There's a subtle shift in your own mind as the island looms larger. You're no longer just a navigator. You're a part of the continuity of that great journey. You're stepping into a long lineage of voyagers who understood that this wasn't just about surviving. It was about thriving in partnership with the world. You've trusted the ocean, you've trusted the stars, and in return, they've shown you the way. And the beauty of it all is that it doesn't end here. No, this is just one stop in a much bigger journey. The Polynesians didn't just sail to one island and stop. They saw the ocean as a network, a living, breathing system of connections. An endless chain of islands stretching across thousands of miles of water. Each stop was just a way station, a place to rest, to gather resources, and then inevitably to set sail once more. You continue to scan the horizon. The island is bigger now, closer, its outline sharpening as the day grows brighter. The wind shifts again, this time more definitively from the west, urging you forward. The canoe surges ahead, slicing through the water with new urgency. And then you see it, a glimmer of light along the shore. It's not the sun reflecting off the water, but something else, perhaps a shimmer from the shore, or the rising mist from the trees. But there it is. It's the sign you've been waiting for. In that moment, everything clicks into place. You have made it. The island, your destination, is within reach. The vastness of the ocean no longer feels so enormous, and the journey feels like something you can do again and again. You followed the invisible thread that runs between all things, the ocean, the stars, the wind, and your own intuition, and in doing so, you've completed a journey that has been shared by countless others before you. And the best part? You're not finished. The ocean isn't a one-way street. It's a path, a cycle, a continuous journey that calls to you again and again. As the canoe slides closer to the shore, you realize that this is just another beginning, a new adventure, another island to find, another horizon to cross. The sea has always been calling, and you'll answer again and again. But for now, as you approach the land, you feel a deep sense of calm wash over you. The island is no longer a distant dream. It's real, it's here, and you are here to greet it, just as your ancestors once did. The land beckons, the waves roll gently beneath your hull, and the world feels right. Your journey, though it might feel like it's coming to a close, is really just beginning. After Section 8, awaiting continue. Section 9. The island is so close now you can make out its jagged outline against the soft hues of the dawn sky. You begin to feel the subtle pull of the land, like a magnetic force drawing you in. The waves are gentler here, hugging the coast with a delicate rhythm, and the canoe moves more easily, as though it too knows the journey is almost over. The swell that had been pushing you forward now softens, and with the shift in the water's pulse, you know you're within the reach of the shore. There's a silence, the kind that only comes when you know you're nearing something important. The wind softens. The sound of the waves lapping against the hull of your canoe becomes a soothing lullaby. The world around you feels expansive, but somehow comforting. The stars have faded, and the day is just beginning to reveal itself in soft pastels, purple fading into gold, the first light of the sun creeping over the horizon. And yet, you know it's not the stars that have been guiding you all this time. The stars were the beginning, but the journey has unfolded through your senses, through your connection to the ocean and the world around you. You realize that in this moment, you're not just approaching land. You're crossing into the space between the known and the unknown. There's a sacredness to this moment. Your ancestors would have felt it too. Generations of navigators before you, each one setting foot on an island that had been their destination, their haven, their home. And now, it's your turn. This is your island, your arrival, your moment. The birds are more present now, small, swift, darting around your canoe. You recognize them, not from any textbook or guidebook, but because they feel like familiar companions. The noddy terns, the frigate birds, they are telling you that you're not alone. They've been here too, and they're leading the way. A soft breeze begins to stir once again, bringing with it the unmistakable scent of land. The earthy notes of soil, the subtle fragrance of flowers carried by the wind, these are signs that even the air is changing, alerting you that you've crossed the invisible line between the open ocean and the island. You've moved from the wild expanse of the water to something more intimate, more connected. The sea is no longer the unpredictable wilderness. It's the route to a destination, to rest, to replenishment. The sound of the ocean changes too. The deeper thrum of the open sea gives way to the quieter, more rhythmic sound of waves breaking on the shore. There's a certain sweetness to this sound, a feeling that you've made it. This is the end of one journey, but the beginning of many more. You approach the shore carefully now, the final leg of the journey requiring as much patience and precision as the start. You can see the faint outline of rocks and cliffs, the beginnings of a bay that will provide shelter for your canoe. The land you've sought for so long is just ahead, and with every stroke of the paddle, it becomes clearer, more defined, more real. The horizon, which seemed so distant only hours ago, is now an almost tangible presence, and the feeling of crossing into something so much larger than yourself, something ancient and sacred, fills you with awe. As you reach the shallows, the canoe slows naturally. You feel the ocean lift you slightly, and with a gentle nudge, the boat slides into the sand. The water licks at the edge of the hull, almost as if it doesn't want to let you go. For a moment, you sit in silence, letting the world around you settle into focus. The waves still lap at your canoe, the birds still wheel above, the trees rustle faintly in the growing breeze. It's peaceful here. And yet, as you step out of the canoe and feel the cool sand beneath your feet for the first time in days, you realize that this is just another part of the journey, the point where one story ends and another begins. You've arrived, but the ocean never stops. It's always calling, always pulling you forward to the next island, the next horizon, the next adventure. Your feet sink into the sand, and you stand there for a moment, just breathing in the feeling of arrival. But this feeling isn't just about land. It's about the connection you forged with the ocean, the stars, the wind, and all the forces that carried you here. It's about the deep knowing that this journey, like all journeys, was about more than just finding your destination. It was about finding yourself, trusting your instincts, and remembering the ancient wisdom passed down through generations. And so, standing on the shore, you realize that your journey is far from over. The island before you may be the end of this chapter, but the ocean has many more stories to tell. You are part of an endless cycle of voyaging, and you'll carry this knowledge with you wherever you go. Because out here in the open water, it's not just about where you're going. It's about how you go. The sea, the stars, the waves, they've shown you the way. And now, as you take your first step onto the shore, you feel ready to sail again. After Section 9, awaiting continue. Section 10, you step onto the sand, feeling it cool under your bare feet, the gentle, rhythmic lapping of the waves beside you. The island, with its lush greenery, slowly comes into sharper view. Tall cliffs rise in the distance, their dark faces softened by the golden morning light that now spills across the horizon. Coconut palms sway gently in the breeze, their fronds dancing like old friends greeting you back home. You're here. There's a strange sensation that accompanies landfall, a feeling of both triumph and humility. You've made it across an endless expanse of ocean, guided only by your senses, your intuition, the stars, and the whispers of the waves. It feels almost unreal, as if the island itself has been waiting for you, prepared to accept your arrival as part of a much larger story. And in a way, it has. The island is ancient like the ocean, its spirit woven into the vast tapestry of Pacific history. But as you stand there, letting the wind tangle your hair and the sea spray cool your skin, you realize that this journey is not yours alone. It's part of a shared legacy, a legacy carried by generations of voyagers before you. Every step you take on this island was once tread by someone else, someone who, like you, trusted the ocean to guide them, and like you, felt that same powerful pull of home on the horizon. Polynesian navigation is as much about connection as it is about discovery. It's a web of stories, teachings, and shared experiences that stretch across thousands of miles of ocean, connecting people and places in a way that no map could ever truly represent. In a world that often feels so disconnected, the idea that the ocean itself can hold the key to your past, present, and future seems almost magical. You feel the weight of this knowledge now as you step further onto the island. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey, the effort, the perseverance, the mistakes, the learning. It's about each small correction you made, each time you adjusted your sail, each subtle shift in your balance as you followed the path of the stars. It's the quiet, unwavering trust you placed in the rhythm of the ocean, the belief that if you listened closely enough, the world would show you the way. Looking around you now, you realize the island is alive in ways you hadn't anticipated. The rustling of leaves in the trees carries messages. The birds' calls are not just sounds, but signals. The very earth beneath your feet seems to hum with ancient energy, as though it recognizes your arrival. The island isn't just a place, it's an extension of everything you've just navigated. It's a reflection of your journey, each part of it carved by the same waves that brought you here. The sea still whispers in your ear, and though your arrival marks the end of this specific voyage, you understand now that this island is not your final destination. It is, as it has always been, a part of a much larger map, a map drawn in invisible lines of knowledge and memory, linking all the islands together from one to the next. The Pacific, vast and mysterious, is not a series of isolated points, but a living, breathing network, and you, like the wayfinders before you, are a part of that. There's something deeply humbling about standing here. The island's beauty is intoxicating, but it's more than that. The knowledge that you've traveled this far without the aid of modern tools, without maps or compasses, makes you feel simultaneously small and infinite. Small because the ocean is so vast, infinite because you've just tapped into something so ancient and enduring that it transcends time. As you walk along the shore, the cool sand slipping between your toes, you take in the island's sights and sounds. The rustle of the trees in the wind, the distant calls of birds, the gentle roar of waves breaking against the shore. You feel the land beneath you in a way you never could have before, as though it is speaking directly to you, telling you its story. The wind shifts again, warmer now, bringing with it the scent of tropical flowers. The island is offering itself to you, just as it once offered itself to the voyagers who came before. The story is cyclical. The waves will carry you again. The stars will guide you again. But for now, the island invites you to rest. You pause for a moment, looking back toward the canoe, still resting on the sand. The ocean is calm now, its vast expanse stretching away behind you, and the horizon feels somehow smaller now that you've crossed it. You know that this journey will stay with you, not just in your memories, but in your spirit. You've crossed oceans, followed stars, learned the language of the wind and the waves, and found your place in a history that stretches across millennia. You take a deep breath and smile. The journey doesn't end here. It never ends. It's a continuous cycle, a never-ending call from the ocean, from the stars, from the islands themselves. The map you carry is not one of paper or ink. It is written in the very rhythms of the world around you, and with that, you step forward. The island is now part of you, and you part of it. The ocean will always be there, whispering your name, guiding you toward the next horizon. After Section 10, awaiting continue. Section 11. The breeze continues to stir the leaves around you as you sit on the shore, staring out over the water. The ocean, now so familiar, seems to pull at you in a way it hasn't before. You've made it here, to the island, but something tells you that the journey isn't finished yet. In fact, you can almost feel it, the call of the sea, the whisper of the waves urging you to step back into the canoe and set sail once more. But not yet. Not today. Today is for reflection. The island is peaceful, quiet, a perfect contrast to the chaos and uncertainty of the open ocean. You feel a deep connection to this place, to the sand beneath you, to the salt in the air, to the birds that wheel overhead. This isn't just an island. This is a living story, a chapter in the endless narrative that has been passed down through generations of voyagers. This is where the journey of the Polynesian navigator truly comes full circle. The islands themselves are more than just dots on a map. They're waypoints in an endless web of connection. Each island, no matter how small, is a part of a greater whole. The Polynesian navigators didn't see the ocean as a barrier. They saw it as a road, a network of water connecting islands, cultures, and peoples. The ocean was their highway. The stars were their street signs. But it wasn't just about surviving the ocean. It was about living with it, understanding its rhythms, becoming one with the patterns of the swells, the wind, and the sky. And that's exactly what you've done. You've become part of that cycle, part of the eternal rhythm of the ocean. As you look around you, you notice how everything seems to have a purpose here. The trees bend with the wind, their leaves shimmering in the light like an offering. The birds that circle overhead are not just flying aimlessly. They are moving in patterns, following the invisible currents of the air. And the ocean itself, vast and infinite, continues to stretch away into the horizon, a reminder that no matter how far you travel, the journey is never truly over. The sounds of the island, too, tell their own story. The call of the seabirds, the rustling of the palm fronds in the wind, the distant crash of waves against rocks, all of it is part of the great song of the sea, of the land, of the people. Every island has its own song, its own rhythm, and you've just learned a new verse. A gentle reminder, you're not just here as a solitary traveler. You are part of something much larger. You stand on the shoulders of the wayfinders who came before you. They sailed this ocean long before GPS or modern tools, guided only by their knowledge of the stars, the winds, the waves, and the rhythms of the world around them. They didn't just navigate, they felt their way through the ocean, understanding it in a way that few of us could ever hope to comprehend today. As you stand up and stretch your arms to the sky, you feel the weight of their legacy. The canoe that brought you here, the stars that guided you, and the swells that pushed you forward are all part of a much greater story, one that stretches back millennia. You are merely a chapter in that story, but it's a chapter that is uniquely yours. The wind picks up again, stronger this time, and you feel it tugging at your hair, at your clothes. It's a reminder that the ocean is always calling. The sea, vast and unknowable, is never far from your thoughts, always just on the other side of the horizon. The feeling is almost magnetic, the pull of adventure, the desire to sail once more, to test the limits of your knowledge, to feel the waves beneath you once again. But for now, the land calls you to rest. As you walk along the shore, the sand cool beneath your feet, you realize that this isn't just a destination. It's a rest stop, a place where you can gather your strength before the next journey begins. The stars will guide you once more, the waves will carry you, and the wind will whisper your name. But today is for feeling the earth beneath you, for grounding yourself, for being part of the world in a way that is deep, eternal, and unbroken. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, you turn toward the canoe, your companion on this long journey. You remember the swells, the stars, the moments when you trusted your senses and let the world guide you. You remember the feeling of the ocean beneath you, the wind in your hair, the sense of connection to everything around you. And you know, deep down, that the journey is far from over. It's just begun. The next island is waiting. The next wave is coming. And the stars are already beginning to form their map in the sky. The ocean is endless, and so are the stories it holds. With one final glance at the horizon, you smile. The sea will always be there, calling you home. After Section 11 awaiting continue, Section 12. As you sit on the shore, your eyes scanning the distance, it's hard to escape the thought that the ocean is somehow alive, always shifting and pulling you toward new horizons. The waves whisper in a language you've come to understand, their patterns etched into your memory like the stars above. And the island around you, so solid and real, is more than just a place. It's a connection, one that links you to the great network of islands, each with its own story, each with its own song. But as much as the island is a destination, it's also a beginning. The place where you rest now has always been a part of something bigger. Your feet, pressed gently into the sand, are part of a journey that spans not just your lifetime, but many generations before you. You can almost hear the voices of the wayfinders who came before, guiding you, urging you forward, reminding you that the ocean is never truly conquered, only understood. It was their knowledge, passed down through time, that allowed them to cross vast stretches of ocean, knowledge that has now become a part of you. A soft breeze stirs the air, cool and refreshing, carrying the scent of the ocean with it. It reminds you of the open water, the feel of the swell beneath the canoe, the stars above that guided your every move. You recall the way the night felt, the way the water had hummed beneath you as the canoe sliced through the waves, a silent companion in your journey. And now, as the sun rises higher, that same ocean feels both distant and incredibly close. It's an unspoken connection, a bond between you and the water that flows across the world, an endless stretch of blue that has carried so many before you. But today isn't about the ocean. Today is about the island, about the land that has welcomed you in. It's about feeling grounded, feeling the earth beneath your feet, the way the land is steady and enduring, offering you a moment of pause before the next wave of the journey arrives. It's easy to get caught up in the constant motion of the sea, to think that the goal is always to move forward, to keep pushing toward the next horizon. But this island, with its stillness and serenity, reminds you that sometimes it's important to stop and listen, to breathe, to reflect, to be. In a way, this island feels like a mirror, reflecting back everything you've learned, everything you've experienced on this journey. The lessons of the stars, the rhythm of the swells, the subtle shifts of the wind, they all come together here, in this place where the land meets the sea. And you realize that the ocean isn't just a vast expanse to cross, but a living entity, constantly shifting and changing, yet always present, always guiding, always pulling you forward. And that pull is strong now, as the wind shifts once again, bringing with it a fresh, salty gust. The ocean calls to you, and the thought of the open water, of the next journey waiting just beyond the horizon, fills you with a quiet thrill. But this time, you don't rush to answer. You sit a little longer on the shore, letting the island's energy wash over you. There's no hurry. The sea will always be there, calling, waiting, ready to guide you on the next journey. But for now, you remain here, grounded, knowing that the ocean will never stop whispering, and neither will your connection to it. As the day continues to unfold, the island becomes a part of you. You can feel it in your bones, in the way your body has attuned itself to the rhythms of the land, the same way it once attuned to the rhythm of the waves. You are part of this place now, part of the ocean's endless story, a small chapter in the larger tale of the Pacific. But each chapter is important, each step, each journey, adding to the fabric of the world's history. You are not just a traveler, you are a keeper of stories, a witness to the ancient wisdom that has been passed down through the ages. The sun climbs higher, and the light transforms the island. The ocean, no longer a distant entity, now seems to be a part of you. The sound of the waves lapping at the shore, the call of the birds above, the rustle of the trees in the wind, all of it feels familiar. The rhythm of the world feels solid beneath you, and as you gaze out toward the horizon, you know that your connection to this place, to this journey, is unbreakable. The sea will always call, it always has, and like the wayfinders before you, you will always answer. But for now, you sit in the stillness, grounded in the present, a part of the endless cycle of the ocean and the land. After Section 12, awaiting continue, Section 13. The sun climbs higher in the sky, its warm glow spreading across the island, illuminating the landscape around you. The palm fronds shimmer in the breeze, casting long shadows over the sand, while the birds overhead continue their flight, calling to one another in the endless dance between sky and earth. There's something peaceful about it, something timeless, an ancient rhythm that you've become a part of. This island, this land, feels as though it's been waiting for you to arrive, and now that you're here, there's a quiet sense of knowing that this is where you were always meant to be. But as much as the island feels like an end, a place to rest, you know deep down that this is merely a pause in the journey. The ocean is calling to you again, whispering across the waves, urging you to rise, to continue the voyage. There's always another horizon, always another island to discover, always another journey to take. The call is unmistakable, and in a way, it's familiar, like the sensation of an old friend beckoning you forward. You rise slowly from the sand, your feet sinking into the warmth of the earth beneath you, and you turn to look at the canoe. There it sits, waiting patiently on the shore, the craft that carried you across the great expanse of the ocean. Its sleek hull is a symbol of the ancient knowledge connecting the countless generations that have trusted the sea and its rhythms to guide them home. You remember every stroke of the paddle, every shift in the wind, every moment when the stars above seem to speak directly to you, offering guidance, reassurance, and wisdom. But there's no rush now. The sea can wait. For a moment, you simply stand there, taking it all in, the island, the sky, the water. The feeling of land beneath your feet, solid and enduring, is a reminder of the connection you've made, not just with the earth, but with the universe itself. This place, this island, is as much a part of you as the stars above, as much a part of the ocean that stretches out before you. It's a piece of the puzzle that is the Pacific, a reminder that the journey is both internal and external, both a physical movement and a spiritual experience. The island's quiet energy pulls you deeper into its rhythm. As the hours pass, the world around you feels more alive, more vibrant, as if every rock, every tree, every grain of sand is part of a grand, interconnected system. The birds, now resting on the rocks, seem to watch you, their sharp eyes gleaming as though they know something you don't. The sea itself, still and serene at the shore, beckons you to return to its depths, to set out once more. And the sky, oh, the sky, reminds you that it is always there, watching, guiding, waiting. You sit down again on the sand, the sun now warm on your back. You close your eyes for a moment, listening to the sound of the wind rustling through the trees, the gentle lap of the water against the shore, and the distant calls of the birds overhead. It's a sound you've grown familiar with over the course of this journey, and in its simplicity, it feels like home. It feels like the world has finally stopped moving, just for a moment, and you are able to rest, to breathe, to exist. In this stillness, you realize something important. The ocean is always there, always waiting. But it's not just the journey it offers that matters. It's the way it shapes you, the way it teaches you to listen, to trust, to feel the subtle movements of the world around you. It's a relationship, not a destination. The sea doesn't just take you from one point to another. It transforms you, teaching you to see the world differently, to understand the connection between all things, between the stars, the waves, the birds, the land, and the sky. The island, with its quiet beauty, has reminded you of this, reminded you that, though the journey is long, it is also deeply personal. It is about connection. It's about being a part of something larger, something eternal. The sea, with all its vastness and mystery, holds the key to understanding the world, but it also holds the key to understanding yourself. And as the wind shifts again, carrying the promise of new adventures, you feel the call once more. The ocean is vast, yes, but it is also a part of you, and you are a part of it. It has no end. There are no final destinations. There is only the endless horizon, the gentle pull of the waves, and the knowledge that no matter where you go, you are always guided, always connected, always part of the great unbroken chain of the sea. You stand up again, and for the first time, you understand the true meaning of this journey. It wasn't about getting from one place to another. It was about becoming a part of the world, becoming a part of the ocean, becoming a part of the stars, becoming a part of something much, much larger than yourself. And now, with the island behind you and the sea before you, you are ready to take that next step. The journey will continue. The ocean will always call. But for now, you found your place in the world. And with that, you take a deep breath, smile, and set your sights on the horizon once again. After Section 13, awaiting continue. Section 4, the horizon beckons to you again. That familiar far-off line where the sky and sea meet. A boundary that always seems just out of reach, like an invitation to continue. There's something comforting about it, even though it's a challenge. The ocean may be vast and unpredictable, but it's also reliable in its constancy. It is always there, waiting for you to return, guiding you to the next chapter of your story. You walk slowly along the beach, the sand warm underfoot, the sounds of the island around you humming with life. The wind still whispers its constant song, carrying with it the scent of salt water and something else, something almost sweet, the fragrance of the earth, of growth. The ocean, vast as it is not only a journey of distance, it's a journey of transformation. With each wave, each pull of the tide, you are reshaped, molded by its relentless rhythm, made into something new, something stronger. But today, the call of the ocean feels different. It's not a demand. It's not urgent, not immediate. It's a quiet invitation, a soft reminder that when the time is right, the sea will welcome you once more. For now, the island is your sanctuary. It is the place where you find rest, where you replenish, where you understand that sometimes the greatest journeys are not those that are the most exhausting, but those that allow you to pause, to reflect, to simply be. You look up at the sky again, noticing how the clouds have shifted, how the sunlight reflects off the water in a soft golden hue. The day is moving on, but time here seems to stretch, to bend. Everything feels timeless, eternal. The land beneath you, the air, the water, they are all part of the same greater whole. There is no separation between them, no boundaries between the earth and the ocean. They are one, as you are one with them. You return to your canoe, gently resting on the shore, and you place a hand on its smooth surface. The wood feels warm beneath your fingers, still holding the memory of the ocean's embrace, still resonating with the journey it has taken. It's more than just a vessel, it's a partner in the voyage, a companion on the road that stretches across the world. This canoe, like you, is part of a long, unbroken line of voyagers. It carries the knowledge of those who came before, and it will carry you to places yet unseen. For a moment, you sit on the hull, looking out at the horizon again. The ocean stretches before you, endless and open, waiting for the next wave, the next discovery. You know that you are ready. The stillness of the island has given you the peace you need to move forward, to listen to the ocean's call once more. But there's no hurry. You take a deep breath, filling your lungs with the crisp, salty air. It fills you with life, with energy, with the certainty that the journey is never really over. It's simply a cycle, an unbroken rhythm that pulses between the land, the sea, and the sky. You are a part of that rhythm now, and always will be. The wind picks up again, and you rise to your feet, your heart quickening in your chest. The ocean, vast and open, seems to be waiting for you to set sail again, to follow the stars, to let the swells guide you on your next journey. The pull is undeniable, and as you step into your canoe, you feel the world shift once more, the sensation of being part of something larger than yourself. You are not just a traveler, you are a navigator, a wayfinder, part of a tradition that stretches back thousands of years. With a final glance at the island, you adjust the sail and push off from the shore. The canoe moves smoothly, almost effortlessly, as though the ocean recognizes you, as though the land has given you permission to go. You sail away, the island slowly fading into the distance behind you. But even as it disappears, you know it is not gone. It is part of you now, woven into your journey, its rhythm now a part of your own. The ocean is endless, but you are ready. The stars await, and the journey continues. After Section 14, awaiting continued left Section 15. As the island fades from view, the vast expanse of the ocean stretches out before you, endless and beckoning. The canoe slips quietly through the water, each stroke of the paddle propelling you further from the shore. The horizon, always elusive, now feels more immediate, as though the line between the known and the unknown is just a little bit closer. The swell beneath you rises and falls in a steady, comforting rhythm, as though the ocean itself is guiding your way, nudging you forward, whispering its secrets. There's a calmness now, a quiet certainty that you are where you are meant to be. The wind is steady, the stars have begun to reveal themselves in the darkening sky, and the water is an old friend, embracing you as you move across it. The world feels larger now, in a way you can't quite explain. The island behind you is a distant memory, but its energy remains, a quiet presence that will continue to guide you as you journey forward. You glance up at the stars again. They are your companions in the dark, the ones who have always been there, shining down with their eternal wisdom. They offer no judgments, no hurry, only quiet guidance, a reminder that no matter where you are, the path is already laid out before you, written in the stars. The ancient navigators, your ancestors, used these stars to chart their course across the vast Pacific, just as you are doing now. Their legacy is alive in you, in the way you read the stars, in the way the ocean feels beneath you, in the rhythm of your breath as you continue the journey. You've been here before, haven't you? Not just on this canoe, not just on this stretch of water, but in your spirit. There's a deep knowing that resides within you now, a knowing that this journey is not one of destination, but one of discovery. Discovery not of new lands or unfamiliar shores, but of yourself. Every wave, every star, every gust of wind is a reminder that you are part of something much larger, a never-ending cycle of movement and connection that has existed for millennia. It's easy to forget in the rush of the modern world that you are made of the same stuff as the ocean, as the stars. You are part of the earth, part of the wind, part of the waves. And out here, on the open ocean, you feel that connection in every fiber of your being. The canoe is no longer just a vessel. It is an extension of your own body, and the ocean is no longer just a space between 2 points. It is the road that connects you to everything. As the night deepens, the stars become clearer, brighter, more real than ever. You follow their path, letting them lead you across the sky, across the ocean. The world becomes smaller in some ways, but more expansive in others. You begin to understand that there is no end to this journey, only more horizons to discover. The ocean is infinite, as are the lessons it offers. With every wave, with every stroke of the paddle, you learn more about the world and about yourself. The gentle rocking of the canoe begins to lull you into a state of calm, your body adjusting to the rhythm of the sea. The night air is cool, but the warmth of the ocean, the soft whisper of the wind, and the steady presence of the stars fill you with a sense of peace. There is no rush, no destination to reach. There is only the journey itself and the quiet knowledge that as long as you trust the ocean, trust the stars, and trust yourself, you will always find your way. As the hours pass, you begin to lose track of time. The only thing that matters now is the ocean, the stars, and the steady rhythm of your paddle. Each stroke is a reaffirmation of your connection to the world around you, a reaffirmation of the ancient knowledge passed down through generations of navigators who have sailed these same waters, who have listened to the same winds, who have followed the same stars. And as the night grows deeper, the quiet hum of the ocean lulls you into a state of serene contentment. You are no longer just navigating. You are a part of the rhythm of the world. You are the ocean. You are the stars. You are the canoe. And the journey will continue, not just across the water, but within yourself, always guided by the wisdom of the stars and the pull of the ocean. For now you continue on, the journey unfolding before you, an endless cycle of discovery, connection, and adventure. After Section 15, awaiting continue. Section 16. The steady rhythm of the water beneath you begins to blend with the quiet hum of your thoughts. The world feels expansive now, not because of the distance between the islands, but because of the space that the ocean creates in your mind. Out here, on the open water, the boundaries of time and place seem to dissolve. The night is vast, and the stars feel close enough to touch. There's no distinction between you and the ocean anymore. You are part of this eternal cycle, where the water meets the sky, and the wind carries the whispers of ages past. You've sailed for hours now, your canoe cutting through the still waters with a soft whisper. The swells rise and fall beneath you, but they feel less like obstacles and more like old friends, gently guiding you forward, reminding you that you are never truly lost as long as you trust the journey. The world around you is settled into a kind of quiet harmony. No hurry, no stress, just the gentle pull of the ocean, the soft pull of the stars. Everything is in its place. Everything is in its time. You tilt your head back to look at the stars again, as if to confirm they're still there, still offering their guidance. They are. Their steady presence is the one constant in a world that feels like it's always changing. They have always been there, and they always will be. They were there when the first Polynesian navigators set out into the unknown, guiding them across vast expanses of ocean with nothing but their own knowledge and the stars above. They were there when the first wayfinders saw their canoes disappear into the horizon, their spirits calling them toward a future that was still unfolding. And now they are with you. The same stars that guided those ancient voyagers are lighting your path too. Their quiet glow offers no words, but somehow they speak volumes. You are not just following them across the night sky. You are walking the same path, becoming part of the same legacy. You are connected to something far older, far deeper than you ever realized. As you continue to sail, the gentle movement of the canoe beneath you becomes almost meditative. Your strokes are slow but purposeful, the rhythm syncing with the rise and fall of the swells. The ocean seems to embrace you, pulling you forward without resistance. There's no struggle. It's just a gentle flow, a quiet trust. You don't need to look ahead anymore. You don't need to see where you're going. You know that as long as you trust the ocean, as long as you keep moving with it, you will always find your way. A cool breeze stirs the surface of the water, and you feel it against your skin, lifting your hair, carrying the scent of salt and earth. The wind is not a force to be controlled. It is a partner in the journey, guiding you in ways you can't fully understand. You turn your head slightly, feeling the pull of the wind on your cheek, and for a moment, you are reminded of the countless wayfinders who sailed these waters, trusting the wind, the stars, the waves, and their own instincts to carry them forward. You are one of them now. You may not have their years of experience, their deep knowledge of the ocean, but you have something just as important: the willingness to trust, to listen, to be present in the journey. That is what makes a wayfinder, not the ability to navigate with maps or instruments, but the ability to listen to the stars, to the ocean, to the wind, and to let them guide you. The moon begins to rise higher in the sky, casting a silvery light across the water. The world feels more intimate now, more connected. There is no separation between you and the vastness of the ocean. You are part of it, and it is part of you. The wind, the stars, the water, they are all connected in ways you are just beginning to understand. And as you continue to paddle, the journey seems to slow down, almost as if time itself is stretching, pulling you deeper into the rhythm of the world. This is what it means to be a wayfinder. It's not just about finding your way across the ocean. It's about understanding that you are part of the ocean, that the water, the wind, the stars, they are not separate from you. They are your companions, your guides, your teachers. The more you listen, the more you trust, the more you understand that the journey isn't just about the destination. It's about being in the moment, about being a part of the world around you, about feeling the rhythm of the ocean pulse through you. And in this moment, as the moonlight dances on the water and the wind carries the soft scent of the sea, you realize that the journey you've been on isn't just about finding new lands, new islands. It's about discovering the world within you, the part of you that is as old as the stars, as vast as the ocean, as eternal as the journey itself. You are not just traveling across the ocean. You are traveling through time, through history, through the very essence of the world that has always been. The ocean calls again, gently, urging you forward. You don't know where the next island will be or where the next horizon lies, but it doesn't matter. You've learned to trust the journey, to trust the ocean, to trust the stars. They will guide you, and you will listen. And as long as you listen, you will never truly be lost. You paddle on, the night deepening around you, the ocean stretching infinitely ahead. The journey continues. Word count. After section 16, awaiting continue.
Section 7.
The night continues to stretch before you, the world around you shifting with the gentle rhythm of the sea. You feel a deep sense of calm now, not just from the physical stillness of the water beneath you, but from the quiet, internal peace that has settled over you. The journey is no longer about the destination, but about the movement itself. Every stroke of the paddle, every turn of the wind is part of the same unbroken cycle that has carried sailors across these waters for millennia. The stars overhead are brilliant now, their light shining down with an almost comforting intensity. You look up at them again, letting their presence wash over you, and a feeling of belonging fills you. It's not just that the stars are guiding you, it's that you are part of them. In some deep, intangible way, you are connected to all those who have sailed under their light. The wayfinders, the ancestors, the voyagers who ventured out into the great unknown and trusted the same sky you now navigate under. They are with you, their spirits woven into the fabric of this moment. As the moon rises higher, the sea becomes an undulating mirror of silver, each wave reflecting the light with soft ripples. It feels like you are sailing through a dream, where the boundaries between the real world and the ocean's vast mystery have disappeared. There's nothing to do now but to move forward, to glide through the dark waters, trusting in the journey. The ocean is calm, almost serene, and for the first time in a long while, you feel no urgency. There's no pressure to reach an endpoint, no rush to cross the horizon. You are simply here, and that is enough. The wind, still gentle, carries the scent of salt and earth. It's a reminder of the islands that lie beyond the horizon, waiting for you to find them, to continue the cycle of discovery. The journey you've been on is not just about crossing the ocean. It's about understanding it, becoming part of it, learning its language, listening to its whispers. The ocean teaches you patience, humility, and trust. It reminds you that the journey, with all its ups and downs, its uncertainties, is just as important as the destination. You turn your gaze back to the stars, tracing their patterns with your eyes. They are the same stars that have guided sailors for generations, the same stars that have seen countless voyages, countless discoveries. There is a quiet wisdom in their light, a calm reassurance that you are not alone, even in the vastness of the ocean. The stars have always been here, always watching, always guiding. And as you sail through the night, you begin to understand that you too are part of this unbroken thread of voyagers, this eternal cycle of movement and connection. The canoe moves with ease through the water now, its steady glide carrying you forward without effort. The ocean, which once felt so vast and overwhelming, now feels like a familiar path, one you have come to trust. You know the rhythm of the waves, the subtle shifts of the wind. You know the stars above, and you know the pull of the sea beneath you. You are attuned to it all, like an instrument in harmony with the world around you. The journey, with all its challenges and wonders, has brought you to this place of understanding. In the distance, you see a faint shadow, an island perhaps, or just the edge of the horizon. It's hard to tell in the darkness, but it doesn't matter. The journey isn't about knowing exactly where you're going. It's about the movement, the trust, the belief that the ocean will always be there to guide you. You're not lost. You're simply traveling, simply moving forward, letting the waves and the stars guide you. A soft breeze stirs your hair, and you close your eyes for a moment, allowing yourself to be carried by the motion of the sea. The world feels endless, and yet in this moment, it feels perfectly complete. The ocean, the stars, the wind, they are all part of the same beautiful, intricate web of existence, and you are part of it too. There is no separation between you and the world. You are one with the sea, one with the sky, one with the stars. And as you continue to sail through the night, the peaceful rhythm of the waves beneath you, the steady pull of the wind, you understand something deeply. The journey is never truly over. There are always new horizons, always new adventures, always new islands waiting to be discovered. The ocean will always call you forward, and you will always answer. The stars will always guide you, and you will always follow. For now, the journey continues, as it always has and always will. After Section 17, awaiting continue. Section 18. The night deepens further as the canoe moves through the ocean, its path illuminated by the steady, calm glow of the stars above. The air is cool now, the warmth of the day having long since given way to the stillness of the night. The world around you feels both vast and intimately connected, as if the boundaries between you, the canoe, and the ocean have dissolved. There is nothing separating you from the water. The sky, the stars, the rhythm of the universe flows through you, guiding you, carrying you forward with each quiet stroke of the paddle. As the hours pass, the vastness of the ocean begins to feel less intimidating and more familiar. The waves continue to rise and fall beneath you, their motion a gentle reminder that you are not merely floating through space, but part of a living, breathing system. The sea, like the sky, is alive with its own rhythms, its own stories. You are a part of that system, and it is part of you. You begin to realize that the ocean is not just a physical entity, but a metaphor for the journey of life itself, vast, unpredictable, and at times overwhelming, yet also full of beauty, mystery, and possibility. It doesn't matter if you can see the destination. What matters is that you are moving forward, trusting the journey, trusting the stars, and trusting yourself. With each stroke of the paddle, you come to understand that the ocean has no end. It is a continuous cycle, constantly shifting, always changing, yet eternally constant in its rhythms. And perhaps this is the key to wayfinding, not just navigating the vastness of the sea, but understanding that the journey itself is the true destination. The horizon is always just beyond reach, but that is what makes it beautiful. The journey is not meant to be finished. It is meant to be experienced, to be lived. The breeze grows stronger now, lifting your hair and rustling the surface of the water in gentle ripples. The sky above is deepening into a darker shade of blue, and the stars seem to multiply, their brilliance reflecting in the water beneath you. You glance up once more, tracing familiar constellations with your eyes, the same ones that guided your ancestors, the same ones that have guided countless voyagers before you. The connection to the past, to the people who came before, is palpable. You are not alone. You are part of a lineage, a tradition that has carried people across this vast ocean for generations. And in this quiet moment, you understand something fundamental. Wayfinding is not just a physical skill, but a mental and spiritual practice. It is about being present in the journey, about trusting your instincts, about listening to the world around you. The stars are not just markers of direction, they are reminders of the wisdom that has been passed down through the ages, of the stories that have been written in the sky. The ocean is not just a body of water, it is a map, a guide, a teacher, and a companion. The canoe, steady and sure beneath you, moves forward with a grace that feels almost effortless. You glide across the surface of the water, the silence around you only interrupted by the soft sound of the paddle dipping into the sea. It's a rhythm that has been honed over thousands of years, passed down through countless generations of navigators. It's the same rhythm that has guided the wayfinders of the past, and it's the same rhythm that now carries you forward into the unknown. As the hours stretch on, you begin to feel the weight of the journey settle into your bones. It's a deep, quiet satisfaction that comes from knowing that you are not just crossing the ocean, but becoming a part of it. The ocean is not something to be conquered. It is something to be understood, to be embraced, and to be respected. And in this moment, you feel that respect, both for the vastness of the sea and for the journey you've undertaken. The stars are now almost directly overhead, their light illuminating the path ahead, as if they are showing you the way. You are no longer concerned with the destination. It doesn't matter if you can see land or not. What matters is that you are moving, that you are continuing on the path, that you are part of the cycle of voyaging that has always existed and will always exist. The ocean stretches out endlessly before you, but you are no longer daunted by its vastness. You are a part of it, and it is a part of you. The journey continues, as it always will. There is no end, only more horizons, more discoveries, more stars to guide you. You feel the steady pull of the ocean, the gentle push of the wind, the whisper of the stars. You are not just a traveler, you are a part of something much larger, much older, much more profound than you can fully comprehend. And in that realization, you find peace. The stars will always guide you, the ocean will always carry you, and the journey will always unfold, one wave, one star, one horizon at a time. After Section 18, awaiting continue, Section 9, the rhythm of the canoe, the soft pulse of the waves beneath, and the gentle hum of the wind around you begin to weave together into a single harmonious melody. The world feels suspended in this moment, neither past nor future, but simply here in the present. The journey is no longer defined by distance or direction, but by the act of being, the act of moving forward. As the night deepens, you begin to lose yourself in the feeling of the water beneath you, the steady motion of the canoe, the quiet presence of the stars above. They're no longer distant points of light, but companions on this journey. You feel their pull, their steady gaze on you, as if they're watching over you, guiding you through the vast expanse of the ocean. Their light is not just illumination, it's wisdom, it's history. It's the memory of all those who sailed before you, all the wayfinders who trusted the same stars, who read the same sky. You are a part of that legacy now, a part of an unbroken line of voyagers who have sailed these waters for centuries. The knowledge that was passed down through generations, the ability to read the stars, to understand the rhythm of the waves, to trust the pull of the wind, is now in your bones. It flows through you like the currents beneath the canoe, carrying you forward, making you a part of this ancient, endless cycle. There's something almost sacred about it. You're not just navigating the sea, you're navigating time. You're walking in the footsteps of those who have gone before, and yet in some way you're also charting a path for those who will follow. The legacy of the Polynesian wayfinders lives in you, in your ability to listen to the ocean, to trust the stars, and to understand the world around you. The ocean doesn't just carry you, it carries their knowledge, their stories, their wisdom. As you glide through the night, you feel the stillness of the ocean in a way that's almost spiritual. The surface is calm, the water reflecting the stars above, and for a brief moment, the boundary between the sea and the sky seems to disappear. It's just one continuous, infinite expanse. And in that moment, You realize that the ocean isn't just a physical journey, it's a spiritual one too. It's not just about finding land, it's about finding yourself, understanding your place in the world, and realizing that you are a part of something much larger than you could ever have imagined. The stars continue to guide you, their steady presence like an old friend walking beside you. You don't need to see them to know they're there. You feel them in the way the waves rise and fall, in the way the wind shifts, in the way your paddle dips into the water with each stroke. The connection is unspoken, but it's real. The sea, the stars, the canoe, they are all part of the same fabric, the same story. And as you continue, you begin to notice the subtle changes around you. The breeze picks up just a little, a sign that the night is shifting. The air is cooler now, and there's a faint scent of earth carried on the wind, a reminder that land is out there, waiting for you. But it's not an urgency you feel. There's no sense of needing to reach the shore. There's only the quiet trust that you will arrive when the time is right. For now, you continue to sail, the journey unfolding in front of you like an endless scroll. The ocean is vast, but it is not empty. It is filled with stories, with history, with memory. And as you move through it, you add your own story to the weave, your own voice to the song of the sea. The stars will always guide you. The ocean will always carry you. But the most important thing you've learned is this. You are not just following a path. You are creating it. You are becoming part of the ocean, part of the stars, part of this eternal, unbroken journey. The world around you feels more connected now. The islands you will discover, the swells that will carry you, the stars that will guide you, they are all pieces of the same puzzle. They are all part of the journey. And as long as you keep moving forward, trusting the rhythm of the world around you, you will always find your way. The journey doesn't end when you reach land. It doesn't end when you arrive at your destination. The journey is the point. It is the act of sailing, of listening, of trusting. The ocean will always be there. The stars will always guide you. And as long as you are willing to listen, to move with the rhythms of the world, the journey will continue forever. After Section 19, awaiting continue, the world seems to fold into itself as you continue to move across the ocean, the stars growing brighter, the air cooler with the deepening night. There's a kind of magic in the silence that surrounds you. The wind shifts again, carrying with it the familiar scent of the sea, salty and full of promise. Every part of the journey has begun to feel woven together. The gentle rocking of the canoe, the sound of the water breaking along the hull, the sky above and its infinite patterns. You are a part of this moment, just as much as the stars or the waves, connected to everything in perfect harmony. It's a sensation you didn't quite understand when you first began your journey. The isolation, the vastness of the ocean seemed overwhelming then. But now, as you sail through the night, you realize that the vastness is not something to fear. It's something to embrace. The ocean is not an empty space between islands. It is the space where everything exists, where the world connects and breathes in unison. And now, you feel a deep and profound belonging to it all. The canoe glides effortlessly through the water, every stroke of the paddle smooth and purposeful. There's a comfort in the repetition, in the steady rhythm that mirrors the pulse of the ocean itself. You are no longer just a traveler, navigating through a foreign world. You are now part of the world, part of its ever-moving, ever-evolving cycle. You trust it now, with every fiber of your being. The ocean is not something you must conquer. It's something you must understand. It's something you must feel in your very bones. The stars above, once distant and cold, now seem like old friends, offering their quiet, steady guidance. You trace their constellations with your eyes, each star familiar, like a marker on a map that only you can read. The stars were once guides, a way to navigate the oceans, but now they are something more. They are witnesses to your journey, to the quiet transformation that has been taking place within you. The journey has always been about more than just the physical distance traveled. It's about the internal journey, the quiet evolution that has been unfolding with each stroke of the paddle, each shift of the wind. It's then that you realize that this journey, this ocean crossing, isn't just about reaching another island. It's about letting go of the need to control, to have everything mapped out and planned. It's about trusting in the unknown, about surrendering to the rhythm of the waves and the guidance of the stars. You don't need to see the destination. You don't need to know the end point. What matters is that you continue moving forward, that you trust yourself, that you trust the ocean to carry you where you need to go. The quiet peace of the night wraps around you like a blanket, and you feel the deep, comforting stillness of the world. The stars, the water, the wind, they all exist in perfect harmony. A quiet, eternal dance that has been going on long before you set foot on this canoe and will continue long after you're gone. In this moment, everything feels timeless. The journey is eternal, a constant flow from one horizon to the next. The ocean, with all its vastness, has become your guide. It has taught you patience, humility, and trust. It has shown you that the journey is not always about the destination, but about the way you move through the world, the way you connect with it. And now, as you continue to sail under the stars, you know that you will always carry this understanding with you, no matter where you go. The ocean is not just a path to follow. It is a way of being, a way of moving through the world with open eyes and an open heart. In the distance, you catch a faint glimpse of land, an island perhaps, or the edge of the horizon waiting to be revealed. But it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're here, moving forward, part of this eternal journey that has always been unfolding. The stars, the waves, the wind, they are your companions, your guides, your constant reminders that the journey is never truly over. There is always more to discover, more to learn, more horizons to cross. But for now, you are content in the knowledge that the ocean will always carry you forward, no matter where you go. The journey continues, not just on the water, but within you. Each stroke, each wave, each whisper of the wind is a step forward in a journey that will never truly end. The ocean is vast and the stars are countless, but as long as you continue to trust in them, the journey will always find its way. After section 20, awaiting continue. Apologies for the confusion earlier. Here is section 21, continuing the story. The night feels different now, deeper, quieter, more expansive. The canoe, its hull cutting smoothly through the gentle swell, feels lighter beneath you, as though the ocean itself is holding it, guiding it forward, urging you onward. There's no rush anymore. You've crossed miles of ocean, the stars above you like old friends, the soft sound of the water beneath you like a heartbeat. There is a peaceful stillness to this moment. It's a stillness that doesn't come from being stagnant or at rest, but from the feeling that you are exactly where you need to be at this very moment. As you glide across the water, you begin to notice things you hadn't before. The way the moonlight spills across the surface of the ocean in silver threads, the subtle undulation of the waves that doesn't quite feel like motion, but more like a breath. The crisp scent of salt and seaweed carried on the breeze. These small, seemingly insignificant details are no longer lost on you. They are part of the rhythm of the world, and now you are part of it. You look up at the stars again, each one a beacon, each one a piece of the grand cosmic map that has guided voyagers for centuries. You follow their constellations, your mind remembering the patterns, your fingers tracing invisible lines through the night sky. The stars feel close now, more like companions than distant points of light. They have been with you all along, their steady glow offering a quiet reassurance that you are not lost. You are being guided, just as those before you were guided by these same stars. The wind shifts again, carrying with it a slight coolness, as if the ocean itself is offering a welcome respite. You feel the pull of it, a reminder that the world is always in motion, that nothing is static. The ocean does not stand still, nor do the stars. They are always moving, always shifting, just as you are. You don't need to see the land ahead of you, the next island or the next shore. You are moving forward, trusting the path beneath your feet, trusting the rhythm of the water and the air. And in this quiet trust, you realize something important. You've come to understand that the journey itself is where the value lies. Not in the destination, not in reaching the next island or crossing the next horizon. It's in the act of moving, of listening, of being part of the rhythm of the ocean, the sky, and the stars. The movement is the journey, and you are a part of it. The stars remain your guide, but now they feel like something more. They are not just signs to follow. They are the map of your own path, written across the sky. Each star is a milestone, each wave a step forward, and every moment on this ocean, no matter how small, is a part of your own story. You realize that the beauty of it all is not in arriving, but in the ongoing voyage, the movement, the learning. You are becoming something with the ocean. You are merging with the stars, with the waves, with the wind. You are one with them. And in that unity, you find peace. In the distance, you think you see a change in the horizon. Maybe the faintest shadow of land, or maybe just the way the light shifts. But it's not important. What matters is that the journey continues, that you keep moving forward, trusting the path, trusting the ocean's pull. The canoe moves gracefully, easily, as though it knows the way, as though the ocean itself is steering you toward whatever lies ahead. You realize, as the stars twinkle above, that you no longer need to ask where the journey will take you. The ocean knows, the stars know, and so do you. The ocean is endless, but there is a certain comfort in that. It is endless, yet full of direction. The journey is not about finding a specific place. It's about trusting the flow of the water beneath, the pull of the stars above, and the quiet certainty that the path will reveal itself as you go. For now, the night stretches on before you, the canoe cutting through the water with the ease of long practice, the stars shining above like old friends waiting for you to follow them further. The ocean whispers, the wind hums, and you sail onward, part of the rhythm, part of the journey, part of something far greater than yourself. After Section 21, awaiting continue. Section 22. The canoe moves with fluid ease as though the ocean itself is carrying you forward, gently nudging you along its current. The night has deepened, and the world around you is quieter now. No more distant voices of birds, no more interruptions from the land. Just the steady hum of the ocean, the gentle slap of the waves against the hull, and the whisper of the wind guiding you onward. It's as if time itself has slowed down. The journey that once felt daunting, endless, has now become something much more meditative. Every stroke of the paddle, every subtle shift of the wind, feels like part of a larger dance, a dance that has been unfolding for millennia. You are no longer merely traversing the ocean. You are becoming a part of it. Every wave that rises and falls beneath the canoe, every gust of wind that fills the sail, every star that shines down from above, these are the elements that shape your journey. They are not just physical phenomena. They are the very essence of your existence here. The stars are particularly bright tonight, their light casting soft reflections on the ocean's surface, turning the water into a vast, shimmering mirror. They feel almost within reach, as if they are close enough to touch. And as you stare up at them, tracing their patterns in the sky, you feel an overwhelming sense of connection, not just to the stars, but to the ancestors who sailed beneath them long before you. You are part of their legacy, part of the same journey they undertook across the vast Pacific, guided by the same celestial bodies. You take a deep breath, the cool, salty air filling your lungs. It's strange how the further you travel, the more you feel like you've always been here. The ocean, vast and unending, is no longer an unknown expanse. It has become familiar. Each wave, each turn of the wind, each star overhead, they are no longer distant. They are with you. You feel them in your very bones. And yet there is no rush, no urgency to reach the next island, to find the next destination. You realize now that the journey itself has become its own reward. The act of sailing, of feeling the water beneath you, of listening to the world around you, it is enough. There is no need to hurry. The stars will guide you when the time is right, and the ocean will carry you there. All you need to do is keep moving forward, trusting the rhythm of the journey, trusting yourself. As you continue on, the world around you seems to quiet even further. The wind has softened to a gentle breeze, and the ocean, once restless and unpredictable, is now calm, almost as if it's waiting with you. Waiting for something, perhaps the next shift in the tide, perhaps the next island to appear on the horizon. Or perhaps it's simply waiting for you to notice something you hadn't before. Something that has always been there, just beneath the surface. You think back on the many islands you've passed, the places that once felt so distant, so unreachable. Now they are part of you. You carry their memories in the rhythm of your paddle, in the way you adjust to the changing winds, in the soft whispers of the ocean. Every island is a chapter in your story. Every wave, every gust of wind, every star above is a line in the poem of your journey. And the beauty of it is that it's not about finishing the poem, it's about the act of writing it. The journey, in its entirety, is the story. And so you continue to sail. You are not just crossing the ocean anymore. You are becoming it. The stars are no longer distant. They are part of your very being, and they will carry you forward wherever the wind takes you. The canoe, once a mere vessel, now feels like an extension of your own body, gliding effortlessly over the water. You have become one with the ocean, one with the stars, one with the rhythm of the world itself. As the night continues, the soft murmur of the waves and the steady pull of the wind seem to settle into your body, into your spirit. There is no need for words. The world around you speaks in a language older than time, and you understand it. You understand that the journey is not just about finding the next island. It's about finding yourself in the rhythm of the sea. It's about being a part of something much larger, much older than you could have ever imagined. The horizon stretches before you, but it doesn't seem so far anymore. You know that wherever it leads, you are ready. The stars will guide you. The ocean will carry you. The journey will continue, as it always has, and you will continue with it, forever part of this eternal rhythm. After section 22, awaiting continue. Apologies for the confusion in the previous sections. Here's section 23. Section 23. The ocean has a rhythm, and you've begun to understand it on a deeper level now. The swells beneath you are not obstacles to overcome. They are part of the dance, gentle and constant, like the slow rise and fall of breath. You've been out here long enough to sense the changes before they happen, to feel when the wind is about to shift, or when the tide is pulling you in a new direction. The vastness of the ocean has stopped feeling daunting. Instead, it feels like an old friend, a vast, unknowable friend that has been teaching you its ways. It's amazing how quickly the ocean has become your teacher. You've learned to listen to its whispers, to understand the subtle signs it offers, the way the waves move, the way the wind tugs at your sail, the way the stars track across the sky. These are not just random occurrences. They are all part of the same system, and you, now, are a part of it. You've become attuned to the movement of the water, the rhythm of the stars, and with each passing night, you feel more at home here, at one with the ocean and all its mysteries. The stillness of the night is profound. There's no sound except the soft rush of the waves against the hull of your canoe, the gentle flapping of the sail in the breeze, and the far-off calls of seabirds, a reminder that the world is still full of life, even out here in the middle of the ocean. The moon is full tonight, casting a wide silver light across the water, and you find yourself mesmerized by the way the waves reflect that light, shimmering and endless, like liquid silver stretching all the way to the horizon. You glance up at the stars again. They are more than guides now. They are part of your understanding of the world. You have come to realize that the stars, the ocean, the wind, they all speak to you, and they always have. You've been taught to read them, to understand their messages, but the deeper lesson is about trust. Trusting that the path will reveal itself, trusting that the ocean will guide you where you need to go, and trusting that you already possess the knowledge to follow it. There's a certain magic in this trust. It's not the magic of something mystical or supernatural. It's the magic of simply being, of being in sync with the world around you. The ocean is not a chaotic force to be feared. It is a living entity, one that can be understood, one that can be felt. The swells, the stars, the wind, they are all part of the same story, and you have learned to listen to that story. The pull of the ocean is strong tonight. You've come to recognize this feeling, a deep, visceral understanding that the water is carrying you somewhere, even though you can't see it yet. It's a pull that doesn't demand urgency, but it asks for attentiveness. The ocean is gentle, but it is also persistent, and you've learned to honor that persistence. As the canoe slices through the water, you feel it, the subtle nudge of the current guiding you forward, the gentle rocking of the canoe reminding you of the vastness of the sea. The night feels endless now, the ocean stretching out before you in all directions, the stars lighting your way forward. You know you are far from land, far from any place you've known. But out here, it doesn't matter. The journey has become its own reward. The rhythm of the sea, the dance of the stars, the feel of the wind, it is enough. There is no need to rush. There is no hurry. The ocean is patient. It will show you the way when the time is right. You realize now that the ocean has taught you something crucial. The destination isn't the point. The journey is. The ocean doesn't promise a specific place or a specific end. It promises an experience, a continuous, ever-changing journey that will always carry you forward. And as long as you listen to it, trust it, and move with it, you will always find your way. The sky is darker now, the stars even more vivid against the night. The wind has settled, and the canoe moves silently across the water, almost like it's gliding through a dream. The ocean continues its slow dance, the rhythm of the waves beneath you, the pull of the stars above you. Everything is in motion, but nothing feels rushed. Everything is exactly as it should be, and in that, you find a deep sense of peace. There's still so much to learn, so much to discover, but you know now that you're not alone in this journey. The stars, the waves, the wind, they are your companions, your teachers, and your guides. And as long as you remain connected to them, as long as you remain in tune with the ocean's rhythm, you will always find your way forward. After Section 23 awaiting continue, Section 24, the night continues to stretch out like a canvas, the stars above you painting their quiet story across the sky. You move further into the expanse of the ocean, no longer needing to rush. There's an ease in your movements now, a comfort that comes with understanding the dance between you and the sea. The canoe hums beneath you, cutting through the water with a steady, graceful rhythm. Each stroke of the paddle feels effortless, and with every wave, the ocean seems to respond, guiding you along, a constant, gentle force pushing you forward. There is a serenity that has settled over you. In the beginning, the vastness of the ocean seemed overwhelming, as though it would swallow you whole. Now, though, it feels like an old, trusted companion, one who has carried you through each challenge and shown you how to find your way. You've come to understand that the ocean isn't something to be conquered, but something to be respected, to be felt. It doesn't demand your strength. It asks only for your patience, your presence, and your trust. You look up again at the stars, and something in the way they gleam tonight catches your attention. The constellations, familiar yet somehow different, seem to shimmer with a special intensity. You trace their paths in the sky, remembering the ancient wayfinders who used these same stars to cross vast stretches of ocean, who followed these celestial markers not as fixed points, but as guides, fluid and ever-changing. The stars were never just lights. They were teachers, offering their wisdom to those who knew how to listen. And now, as you sit beneath their light, you realize that you've learned that language too. The stars no longer feel distant. They feel like old friends, sharing their quiet secrets with you, their steady glow showing you the way. You've come to understand that wayfinding is not about perfection. It's about being attuned to the world around you, feeling the rhythm of the ocean, reading the movement of the stars, and trusting the pull of the wind. And you've learned to trust yourself. You've learned to trust your instincts. The breeze picks up again, warmer now, a gentle reminder that the night is shifting. You adjust the sails slightly, feeling the wind's touch against your face, a soft caress that reminds you of the delicate balance between the canoe and the elements. It's a dance that requires no force, only harmony. You glide through the water, moving with the ocean's natural flow, a silent witness to the vast, unbroken rhythm of the world. The stillness of the night, the steady sound of the waves, and the soft rustle of the sail in the wind create a peaceful atmosphere that feels almost sacred. There is no need for words here, no need for explanations or distractions. The only thing that matters is the connection you feel, the connection to the stars, to the ocean, to the canoe, and to yourself. You are a part of this journey, a part of the great eternal movement that has always existed. As you continue to sail, you realize that this journey is not about reaching some final destination. The ocean will always stretch ahead of you, offering new islands, new horizons, new challenges to explore. But the true destination isn't a place. It's a state of being, A deep understanding that the journey itself is enough. The sea will always be there, always moving, always guiding, and the stars will continue to light the way, offering their quiet wisdom as they have done for centuries. For now, there is no land in sight, but it doesn't matter. You know the island will come when the time is right. You know that the journey is not just about reaching land, but about understanding what the journey is, what it means to sail, to move, to be part of something larger than yourself. The stars twinkle above, their light unwavering, their presence constant. The ocean moves gently beneath you, its rhythm steady, and you, the canoe, the wind, and the stars, all of you are part of the same dance, the same rhythm, the same story. There is no end, no final destination. There is only the journey, always moving forward, always unfolding, always connected. The journey continues. The ocean will always guide you, the stars will always light your way, and you will always be part of the rhythm of the sea. After section 24, awaiting continue. The night is stretching further, and with it you feel the passage of time become something fluid, something almost dreamlike. It's no longer clear whether hours or minutes have passed. Time is an afterthought, something measured only by the subtle changes in the ocean's rhythm, by the gentle shifts in the wind. The stars continue to trace their slow arc across the sky, and the canoe moves ever onward, its path guided by an invisible force that you've come to understand and trust. In this deep, quiet space, the ocean feels almost sacred. It is vast, yes, but it is not empty. It is alive with possibility, full of untold stories, mysteries waiting to be discovered. And you are not an outsider looking in. You are part of this vastness. Every wave that rises and falls beneath you, every whisper of wind that passes over your skin, every gleam of light that reflects off the water, these are all part of you now. The ocean is no longer just a space between islands. It is home. You are bound to it by something deeper than geography. You are bound to it by rhythm, by movement, by a deep understanding of its pulse. The stars remain steady above, constant and sure. You can almost feel their warmth, their quiet presence. They are not just points of light in the sky, they are beacons, each one a reminder of the journey that has been made and the journey that will continue long after you. They guide you, not with a fixed, rigid light, but with a soft, comforting glow. It's not the stars themselves that matter. It's the path they create, the invisible lines they draw in the sky, showing you where you are and where you've yet to go. You pause for a moment, resting your hand on the canoe's mast, feeling its smooth surface beneath your fingers. It's sturdy, solid, like the ocean itself, made to endure, made to move. It's more than a vessel, it's a part of you. And as you sit there, feeling the gentle sway of the canoe beneath you, you realize that it isn't just the ocean, the stars, or the wind that guides you. It's you. You've learned to listen, to trust, and to move with the rhythm of the world around you. And in doing so, you've found a connection, a peace that you never quite understood before. The vastness of the ocean, once so intimidating, now feels welcoming, even comforting. You no longer feel small, lost in an endless expanse. You feel at home, as if this very rhythm, the rise and fall of the waves, the gentle pull of the wind, is something you were born to follow. It's not about where you're going, it's about how you're moving. The ocean doesn't demand you hurry, and the stars don't rush you forward. They simply wait, gentle and eternal, knowing that your journey will unfold as it should. And that's when it hits you. This is the way of wayfinding. It's not about conquering the sea. It's not about finding the quickest route to land. It's about living with it, being in harmony with the ocean, the stars, and everything that guides you. It's about trusting that the journey, with all its uncertainty, is unfolding just as it should. You are part of that unfolding. For a moment, the ocean feels still, as though it is holding its breath, waiting with you. The canoe rocks gently beneath you, the stars twinkle above, and the wind carries its soft whisper. There is no need for more than this, no need for a destination, no need for an end. The journey itself is enough. The island, wherever it is, will reveal itself when the time is right. But you don't need to see it yet. You've learned to trust that the ocean will carry you there, just as it always has. The swells rise and fall beneath you, the wind shifts gently, and the stars guide you forward. You are not alone. You never were. As you continue to sail through the night, the journey stretches out before you, an endless horizon waiting to be discovered. But it is not the destination that matters. It's the act of moving, the act of trusting the journey, the ocean and the stars. They will always guide you, and you will always follow. Now you understand. This journey is not just about what lies ahead. It's about how you move through it, how you listen to the world, and how you trust the rhythm of the ocean. The journey will continue forever onward into the unknown, into the rhythm of the sea. End of script. Sweet dreams.